Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Threadlings, a filmmaking production diary. My name is Miguel Ortega, and this is my co-host Tran.
Hey everyone.
I'm reading some of the comments; are funny.
Yeah, I am too.
Uh, i- Repeat after me: No man, no man. Some funny shit, some funny stuff. Stinky glitch. Uh,
Was it some of the icons don't pop up?
yeah. But I even like the name more than the icon. I'm just happy to be here. That's so funny. Uh, and then let's see what else. Let's go. I learned so much each week. Cool. And then Bobby. So Ruben and Bobby, Ty's in the house as well. What's up, guys? Oh man. So let's do this. So we're back to sound. So what happened this past week is we recorded the voice of Shrog. So he's the professor. Let me see if I could find an
And we did find mail, right?
and we found Mayo. Yeah, that's good. So let me show you guys that real quick. So let me just pull up some photos. One second. So this is who we ended up getting. Who we used them before on one of our other films called The Ningyo. So it's Jerry Lacey. Um, so Jerry, I think I might have shown this before, but Jerry was an old Dark Shadows TV show that Tim Burton ended up making a film based off of. So he was that. He's
He really had that classic handsome look
yeah, totally.
in that time. He's like a true actor for
Yeah, so he did theater in New York. That was like his main love. Hold on one second. I need my coffee. So he was doing theater, and he was doing a play called "Play It Again, Sam" with Woody Allen. So at the time, they were both doing theater, and they actually made that into a feature film, and they just cast the same exact people from the actual play to star, which is pretty cool. Woody Allen didn't direct that one, and he's been in a bunch of stuff, so he's got a long career. He looks amazing. He's 88 now. Um, so we used him. If you look him up on the Ningyo, let me see if there's any photos of him on the Ningyo. Not that I could find here, but he's in the Ningyo and he's great. Well, he's on the poster. You can see the poster. He's up at the top left there. So he's awesome. He's the sweetest guy in the world, the nicest person, and yeah, we're happy to get him. So let's listen to some of the stuff that he recorded for us. Uh, da, da, da. Just give me 1 second. Just opening up the files. So he's got. So this is, I think, him reading like the intro.
Oh, you gotta get this in here. Every threadling's life became an azure crystal, except for one.
So usually he has a very deep voice, and what we thought would be very interesting is to contrast him. I know you could maybe not even hear that so well because it's so low.
Okay? Every threadling's life begins from an azure crystal.
So what we thought would be really cool is the contrast of having this 80-year-old guy playing alongside these kids. So one of the things I wanted to talk about today is just how much things shift from the script to once we start putting the sound together, we immediately see some of the issues. So let's just look at the scene that we're gonna go over today. Um, 1 second. So this is it. So we're gonna break this down here and put the sound together and see why it doesn't work. So, Cotton Mayo run to Shrog. So, just to give you guys a little backstory here. So, this is Cotton Mayo are our two little heroes. They're the little guys on the poster. Let me see if I can find an image of them. So that's Cotton Mayo. And they just witnessed Zort getting basically killed. So now they're running back to tell the professor, who's Professor Shrog, who's this guy right here, grumpy old guy, that they witnessed Zort, this guy, getting killed. Right? So this is the script here. So Cotton Mayo run to Shrog as he reaches his office. Desperate and out of breath, Cott's words come out in hurried gasps. So he's a stutterer. So, Master Shrog, it got him a moth. Shrog's eyes widen as Cott finishes his sentence. Moth, slow down, boy. Tell me. I'm always worried about lines like this because you want to try to get the energy in it, right? Like the interrupting the sentence. But okay, so that's it. But it swooped down, grabbed Zort, injected him. And then Mayo interrupts. He's gone.
Mayo
Right.
gone.
Mayo gone. Yeah, Mayo gone. Again, I'm totally tired today. Shrog freezes, skepticism washing over his worried face. So, skepticism because he knows that Zort is the chosen one. He's like the Harry Potter in this world. There's no way that he would have gotten killed or taken or whatever. Zort, that's impossible. It's true, we tried to save him, but just then Zort appears at the far end of the corridor, looking perfectly whole, as if nothing had ever happened. Cotton Mayo stare wide-eyed and bewildered. The three of them watch as Zort quickly disappears down a stairway. Shrag narrows his eyes, trying to read the situation. You're crossing a line from mere folly to blasphemy, Cott. Consider your next words carefully. Cott stammers, his credibility wavering. But I tell him, Mayo. Mayo saw Shrag's patience worse thin. He eyes him sternly. I see that you're not done embarrassing me today. Shrag shakes his head and retreats into his office, slamming the door shut. Cott and Mayo look at each other confused. What the weft was that? So weft, of course, if you guys know Marvelous, you know what that is. So, okay. So simple scene, nothing really complicated, but a lot ended up being changed on the final thing.
It's simple, but it's not that simple because there's a
lot of overlap and there's a
there's-
lot of energy.
yeah, there's a lot of energy. There's a lot of cutting off and overlap. So when you write this down as dialogue, it's kind of hard to exactly know how natural that's going to sound. The other challenge is that we had recorded Cott separately, right? So Chance did his lines and he did amazing job at it. And now we have to have Jerry come in, play Shrog, working with whatever we've already recorded. Yeah. But that's possible because Jerry is a veteran. He's an amazing actor.
So they're saying the Shrog is, Ty's saying the Shrog is too low. So let me just see what I have here.
Okay. Right.
I think when you were playing the audio separately, it was too low.
Okay. All right. Huh.
Okay, so this is him just doing a series of sounds, but you can see this is literally what we have all the actors do. So this is just a range of sounds. And it'll go from that to angrier. And you can see the highlighted one there is basically the take we ended up using for something. I'm not sure which one. And of course, some of them get hammy, but you want to have that. You never know. It might sound super silly. Is it the same?
As phone memes? No. But like for audio, I have no idea what phone means.
Yeah.
Ow.
So we have that full range, and that's going to give us all kinds of stuff, especially for fights or whatever. We'll have everything.
Oh, no.
Even smaller.
Oh, no.
And you could see every time you say it, it just sounds differently. So we just have them say it until we feel like they're ready to walk out on us.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
And one of the things I've noticed is if you're ever asking an actor to do something really big,
Oh no.
here's a tip, and you think that they're just not delivering it, like it needs more intensity, and they're just not hitting that intensity. The thing I've noticed is not saying that Jerry's doing this, but what I've come to find is if they can't hit it, rather than do one that's at 9 instead of 10, and they just cannot get to 10, go all the way to 1. Like go small, go the total opposite direction, and it usually has the same effect, which is weird.
Oh no.
Like if somebody's really mad and they're screaming and screaming and it just doesn't sound right, if you make them really small, it almost sounds more impactful than if they're screaming. Do you know what I mean? Like instead of like, I'm gonna kill you, you just go, I'm gonna fucking kill you. If you just go really small, you're like, oh shit, that's even scarier.
Yeah.
So that's just something we've learned. So yeah, these are just some of the other takes. Let me see.
I see you're not done embarrassing me today.
So that's from this scene that we're
Well,
talking
let
about.
this serve as your second strike. And should you, no, you want a little beat in there between those? Sure. I see you're not done embarrassing me today. Well, let this serve as your second strike. Should you incur a
So just so you guys know, these are alternate lines. We ended up not using these at all. So we always write in case stuff lines.
Yeah, they're
And it's
basically thoughts that we had while we're writing the script.
yeah.
But we cut it because maybe it didn't seem to flow, but into the script, it doesn't, just because it doesn't flow in the script doesn't mean it doesn't work better, possibly, once you record it.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see that you're not done embarrassing me today. Well, let this serve as your second strike. And should you consider a third, no,
You see, you have issues. So part of the reason why you want those beats in between,
I see you're not done embarrassing me today.
so you can see that's a big delay between that and the next line.
Well, let this serve as your second.
Okay, but that's not a big deal because let me just show you. Like I could just grab this. So here I select the in and out points and I could just drag this into this. I mean, this is not rocket science here, but I could just speed this up, of course.
Embarrassing me today.
I could just cut the air right out of that. And then what you want to do here is you'll right click and you'll go to apply default transitions. And that will kind of mix the two together. I also have 3 tracks here, which I don't need. So I'm going to get rid of. And the 3 tracks is the recorder we have just records the same thing at multiple volumes, just in case it peaks out.
Embarrassing me today. Well, let this serve as your second.
Okay, so you can see you now get the air out of that, and you can see you have another spot there. Now you have to be careful with that. Just because you're getting it tighter doesn't necessarily mean it's going to sound better, because it might feel like, hey, that doesn't sound natural. It feels like you do need a beat. So
Done embarrassing me today. Well, let this
so that, for example, I probably would give it a smidge
me
longer.
today. Well, let this serve as your second strike. Should you incur a
That probably give it a slightly longer one. And at that point, I could stretch that. I could stretch this, since it's air anyway, and then do the blend. So that blend will just make sure that things like size, breathing, air, room tone
I see you're not done
connect with each other.
embarrassing me today. Well, let this serve as your second strike. Should you incur a third, your academic pursuits and
Okay, so anyway, that's how we'll piece it together. So let's start putting this together. The one thing I am going to cheat with is I am going to start with these 2 here. So I already have this done, but I just want to show you. So we're going to match this exactly like the script, and I'll show you why it does not work.
Master Shrek, I got him. The
Okay, so cool. So Master Shrog, it got him the moth. Okay. So now let's go and find what takes we have of Jerry responding. So let me find my notes to find the shoot schedule here, or Tran's lovely notes. Tran writes the best notes in the world.
So while we're there, Miguel is paying attention to performance. I'm moving around. I'm doing stuff. I'm clapping the board, arranging lunch, making sure everything's running. And then my other task is while I'm listening is to also take notes, right? So then, like if take one, which lines were said, and in what order they were said, right? And then take two, which lines came first? Was this take up grunts and all that stuff? So it's pages of notes, but it's really helpful when you want to find a certain performance.
Yeah, now that doesn't. I want to make sure that it's clear that it's not like you're the assistant. Like Tran is giving performance notes as well. If she has any comments, she can totally say whatever she wants, and she has total say in anything she wants creatively.
Yeah, I can say stuff, but I do depend on Miguel for that too.
Yeah,
So then I'm focusing on that. But you always want someone completely focused on just the performance.
yeah. All right, so let's go to Shrog's performance. So we'll go to audio, voiceover, Shrog, and that is take 9. Okay, so let's listen. So let's just watch this here. So Master Shrog got him the moth. Shrog's eyes widen as Cot finishes his sentences. Moth, slow down, boy. Tell me. Okay, so let's see.
A moth? A moth. Oh, slow down, boy. Slow down. Now tell me.
So I have to find the balance of we are overacting a little bit on the Threadlings. It's a little bit bigger and hammier because it's more stylized. The voice in the hollow had none of that. We tried to play it really straight. So we have to find a balance though, of not too corny.
A moth. A moth. Wait. A moth. A moth. Slow down, boy. Slow down. Now tell me. A moth. All right, slow down, boy. Slow down. Tell me. A moth? All right, slow down, boy. Now slow down. Moth. All right, slow down, boy. Slow down. Now tell me.
That one I kind of like a little bit. Let's see. Let's hear it again.
A moth. All right, slow down, boy. Slow down. Now tell me.
So if I like it, I'll just select it, that little in and out point. So saying I want from here to here. So this is like a sub edit. And I could bring it over here and move it off to the sides. And now I can come back over here, clear in and out, and keep looking.
A moth. Whoa. All right, now slow down, boy. Slow down.
So some of them I may actually like, but I feel that it might be too long. So that's another thing I'm keeping in mind.
Moth. Moth. Whoa. All right, now moth. A moth. All right, slow
Let's see.
down.
So even here, I could already start seeing, if I look at the wave forms here, I could already see these are going to be bigger, right? You can see they're more solid. That means that it's more full, and they're higher up. That means his volume is higher. So if I know I don't want a bigger performance, this is not the area to look for it. So if I want something more subtle, I'm going to come over here.
A moth. All right, slow down, boy. Slow down. Tell me.
See, that one I kind of like. So let's select that one and bring it down here. Okay.
Master Shrag, it got him. The moth.
Okay, so you could see his breathing is continuing. So what we don't want to do is a Tetris edit where everything just kind of finishes and the other one starts. So we want to try to layer it in a way so that it feels like before one person is finished fully, the other one kicks in, so it feels more natural. So we'll do, I've heard it been called as an L edit because it looks like an L here.
The moth.
Okay, so you could see here, you have to be careful because you can see that the dialogue really is starting
The moth.
right there. So let's chop this off and bring that right there.
The moth!
The moth. All right, slow down, boy. Slow.
Okay.
The moth!
The moth. All right, slow down, boy. Slow down.
The moth!
The moth. All right, slow down, boy. Slow down. Tell me.
Okay. So next is finding the COTS performance. So I already have COTS performance down, and I don't want to completely look for all of COTS stuff because that could take a long time. But let's just look and see. So we have this. This is because this could literally take me like the full day. So I just want to kind of cheat a little bit. So we'll go through Schrag's performances, but we're not going to go through COTS. So let's put this in here. So we have this one.
The moth. All right, slow down, boy. Slow down. Tell me.
It swooped down.
Okay, so you could see we have the sound cutting out there, and it's because the music is dying out. So it starts feeling weird.
The moth. All right, slow down, boy. Slow down. Tell me.
So one of the things we might want to try to do at this point is find a floor. So let's go to our ambient.
What is the floor exactly?
I'll show you in a second. So we can go to. I call it a floor. I don't know what the hell it's called, but I'll show you what it is. One second. Did you cast Mayo? Yes, we did.
Yeah, and we should talk about that. What that process is probably going to be like. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think it's pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, we did. And I say that in a good way. Okay, let's see. So here, this to me is like a floor. So it's like an atmosphere. Okay, so let's use this one just for now. So I just grab that and put it at the bottom. So that's going to be our.
Master Shrag! It got him!
We got to bring this down. So we
The
don't want.
moth. All right, slow down, boy. Slow down. Tell me.
It swooped down, grabbed Zort, and ejected him.
Lower that quite a bit.
Master Shrag! It got him! The moth!
The moth. All right, slow down, boy. Slow down. Tell me.
It swooped down.
So we want this to be a little bit more overlapped here.
Slow down. Tell me.
It's
That, you know, to me, what I want to try to get is the feeling that there's much more overlap happening than what's actually happening. So you're really art directing it. So I'm looking at this waveform here. Let me open up my Epic pen here, and I'm looking at the actual waves here. Give me 1 second, and you can see I could see that Cot is starting to talk right there, and I could see that Jerry or Schrag is finishing his talk here. So if I could overlap this so that this starts right at the tail end here, it'll give the illusion that there's overlap. And then here is his stutter. So that's fine because that's almost like the buildup. It swooped down. That's fine. That's not important. So if you miss it, I don't care. It'll give it the overlap effect, but you're not going to miss anything. So that I'll let that overlap and then just make sure that this overlaps just a little bit.
Slow down. Tell me.
it swooped down.
So I could probably bring that in a tiny bit more.
Slow down. Tell me.
It swooped down, grabbed Zort, and
Okay, cool. Let's see. So let's take a look at the next. Okay, so here's a problem. So if we look at the script here, it swooped down, grabbed Zort. This is the key word here. Injected him. He's, and then Mayo's supposed to say Mayo gone. Okay. So I instantly saw a problem here, which I'm going to show you guys in a second. The problem is there's a certain rhythm to this, right? It's like Professor Shrag, da, da, da. It's moving like this, right? Now, the minute Zort starts saying Zort, that's impossible, he's kind of stopping that rhythm. And then Cod is going back to, it's true, we tried to save him. And even Mayo saying Mayo gone, it started messing up the rhythm, and I'll show you why it doesn't work and then what I ended up doing.
Now, tell me.
It swooped down, grabbed Zort, and ejected him.
Okay, so let's find that next line.
A moth? All right.
Okay, so that's not it.
Zort? That's impossible. Zort? That's impossible. Oh, Zort? Well, that's impossible. Zort? That's impossible. Well, Zort? That's impossible. Oh, Zort? That's impossible.
Okay, so let's go with that one for now.
Oh, Zort? That's impossible.
Great voice. You know, Jerry was worried that his voice, he felt that he had lost some of his voice, and I very strongly disagree. I think his
Yeah,
voice
it
sounds amazing.
Sounds amazing. He did sound like really amazing before too. It's changed, but it's still great.
It's changed, but you know, in person, it felt much thinner, but that microphone really pulled out the bass in his voice, which is great.
Master Shrag, it got him. The moth.
A moth? All right, slow down, boy. Slow down. Tell me.
It swooped down, grabbed Zort, and ejected him.
Okay, so let's see.
He's
Okay, so now we have he's, and then Mayo's supposed to interrupt and say Mayo gone. Okay, so Mayo only says 2 words at a time, and the word Mayo is always the first word, right? So he's basically saying he's gone. And he needs to interrupt. Mayo has been the hardest character to cast. So this is actually an audition tape that was sent to us, and we ended up casting him. But we're going to use it because it's good. So let's listen.
Mayo gone. Mayo gone. Mayo gone. Mayo gone. Mayo.
So I'm going to go with this right here, and there's too much space there. So I'm going to take this. Let's put this in there.
Ejected him.
Okay, so remember, read those waveforms so you could see. If you know he says they ejected him, he's, that's going to be the he's. So then you're going to want the Mayo part is not that important. The important part is the word gone.
Ejected him. Mayo.
Okay, so that's the Mayo. There's way too much gap there. This kid is 7 years old, so you're never gonna get the exact performance you want. So you're gonna have to cut it up and make it work.
Mayo gone.
Let's give it a tiny little bit more beat there.
Mayo gone. Mayo gone.
Okay, so that's, and now we're gonna have Shrog cut in. Now, one thing I should probably be doing, which I'm not doing, is to give each character a proper row. So I'm gonna do that now. Oops. So I'll give this here. You can't rename these things, so it's audio 1, 2, 3. So usually what I do is I place them in level of importance, the hero being always channel 1, channel 2, and channel 3. And you can see I actually have channel 1. I can move the whole thing up. So just the top audio channel that I'm using, I could bring this all up. So Cod will be at the top, Shrog, and then Mayo.
Mayo, gone.
Okay, so now I need to have Shrog cut in. He's pissed off.
Mayo, gone.
Oh, Zort?
Okay. And again, I'm showing you this is not going to work. So I'm going to show you why it doesn't work when we match the script fully and then what we ended up doing.
Oh, Zort? That's impossible.
Okay, so let's listen to that. We might bring him up a little bit. So one thing I'm going to start doing is I'm going to solo this,
Zort.
and I'm looking at the level here that this character is hitting.
Injected him.
Okay, so let's look at that. So he's peaking out around here, and he's averaging around this area here. Okay, that's fine. So now when we go to the next one,
Zort? That's impossible.
we need to bring him down a smidge to be in the same range.
Oh, Zort? That's impossible. Oh, Zort? That's impossible.
Okay, great. Let's move on to Mayo.
Mayo, gone.
Same thing. Let's bring him down a smidge.
Mayo, gone.
Okay, and I could just bring that down to match.
Mayo, gone.
Let's bring it down a smidge more.
Mayo, gone.
Okay, great. So now they should be more balanced.
Injected him. Mayo, gone.
Oh, Zort? That's impossible.
Okay, cool. So next is Cod's response. So again, to speed this up a little bit, I am going to cheat and take some of his dialogue here. So let's see. Because I don't want to look for all of Cod's stuff. So let's come back over here. And this is Cod.
That's impossible.
So again, same thing. Let's look at that waveform. Okay. Let's listen to that line. So we're pressing S to solo it.
It's true.
Okay, so really the only part that matters in the beginning is this. It's true, right there. So this is our ramp up stutter. So we could overlap this. So let's bring this in. Just around there.
That's impossible.
It's true.
Let's let, now the thing is, you can't overlap to the point that Shrog hasn't finished his sentence and then he's already talking.
It's impossible.
It's true.
So let's find that balance.
That's impossible.
It's true.
It's impossible.
So I need him to at least finish saying, or start finishing saying the word
It's
impossible.
impossible.
It's true.
Okay, so let's play that.
Master Shrag, it got him. The moth.
A moth. All right, slow down, boy. Slow down. Tell me.
It swooped down, grabbed Zort, and ejected him. Mayo, gone.
Oh, Zort? That's impossible.
It's true. We tried to save the moth.
A moth. All right, slow down, boy. Slow down. Tell me.
It swooped down, grabbed Zort, and ejected him. Mayo, gone.
Oh, Zort? That's impossible.
It's true. We tried to save him, but.
Okay, so let's look at the script. It's true we try to save him, but just then Zord appears at the far end of the corridor, looking perfectly whole as if nothing had ever happened. Okay, so we need to sell that Zord is in the far distance. However, we have no images right now, right? So we're doing this all with audio. So let's go to doors. And let's listen to some sounds. So a little too Dungeons and Dragons. That's a good one. Let's listen to others. That sound is such a voice from the hollow sound. Okay. Okay. So let's start putting the sound design into this. So what I'll also do here is I'm going to start sticking in new audio tracks. So video track 0, audio tracks, let's do 4, 4. Okay. And we'll paste that in there.
It's true. We tried.
Oh, that's not it. Let's put that door in there. So I'll solo this. I'll cut it.
Save him.
Okay, let's grab the sound right here. Stick it right there. Let's zoom into it. And we'll cut it right at the impact point.
Save him.
Okay, so this is, okay, this is the other door, so we don't need that. Okay.
We tried to save him.
So let's bring the volume down on that, even though I like that.
Save him.
We need to give it some distance. So there's a few things we could do. So if we come over here to Premiere, we could go to sound effects, and there are some presets like make distant, and that will add a couple of effects to make the sound further away. And we could do the same thing here. And there is no like make distant. What it's actually doing is it's changing the reverb to make it sound further away. Okay. So, boom, in walks Zort. Okay, so one of the things that I thought would be interesting there, let's take a look at the script. So just then, Zord appears at the end of the corridor looking perfectly whole, as if nothing had happened. Cotton and Mayo stare wide-eyed and bewildered. The three watch them as Zord quickly disappears down the stairway. Okay, so now we need footsteps. So let's go to footsteps. Okay, so there we go. That's a good one. I know that this is a good one because I already picked this one out. So the reason why I picked that is because there's a stop, a sudden stop. So now I could put that in there. Okay, so what I could do here, I can go to, I'm going to show you an issue here, but I could go to sound effects and I could add a heavy reverb because you want those footsteps. Those footsteps mean something, right? They're basically saying, "Oh, God is a liar." Each footstep is a reminder of, "Oh, you're a liar." So now I'm adding the reverb. You can see the difference with and without it. So that's going to give it the hallway feel. Raw, very lame. We add the reverb. Okay, so what I could do here, just then Zord appears, caught Mayo stare wide-eyed and bewildered. The three watch. Okay, so we can just have him walk away. So I don't want to stop yet. So let's just do this. Because I want to do it different than the final one, just to show you. I'm going to match the script 100%. Okay, so. So my space bar is not working anymore. 1 second. Space bar not working in Premiere is like the tires not working in a car. So give me a second because this is a pretty big deal.
Is the keyboard not working, or just is it Premiere?
I don't know, but it's just not. Okay, so now we're gonna match the script perfectly. So he's just walking out to his bedroom. So since we know that, we're gonna put in a few key volume marks here. So I'm holding down Control, and I'll just bring this down, and that's gonna give us the distance as he's walking away. Let's go back to our sound effects, and we'll add the heavy reverb. Okay, you can see my floor is ending. So I'll just paste it again. Apply default transition, and that should. So you can see there's a weird overlap there. So let's just shove it in here. There, you can't even tell. Okay, another thing I want to do is give that a little bit more of an impact. So I'll just go into some of my impact sounds. It's too dramatic. But what I like is this deep sub booms. Let's see. That. I don't know if you guys can hear that great, but let me bring this up again. That. So I'll put that there. That sound doesn't represent anything. It's more of an emotional sound. Right, because that's the, oh shit, how can this guy be back?
It's true. We tried to save him, but Master Shrek, it got him. The moth.
The moth. All right, slow down, boy. Slow down. Tell me.
It swooped down, grabbed Zort, and ejected him. He's Mayo, gone.
Oh, Zort? That's impossible.
It's true. We tried to save him, but
Okay, you're crossing a line from mere folly to blasphemy. So remember, Zort is like their Jesus Christ, their Harry Potter, their savior. So he's seeing this as a big insult. So let's find that. So take 10. So I'm looking at Tran's lovely notes. So Shrog, take 10. He's got a Disney voice, yeah. Christmas narrator vibes. Yeah, he definitely has a great voice. Miguel do. Ted loves mayo. Okay, so let's listen to this. Oh, so why am I looking at? It's not. Wrong guy. Wrong guy. So let's do.
All right, you're crossing a line from. Oh, you're crossing a line from mere.
So okay, so I'll tell you right away what I hate about this line here. It's way too wordy.
You want me to put the volley to blasphemy back in? Oh, you're crossing a line, Scott.
So it's not Scott. That sucks when you get a line that actually sounds good and then they mispronounce the name.
Oh, you're crossing a line, Scott.
So you're saying, and that's everybody. That's not Jerry. That's everybody screws up like that.
Oh, you're crossing a line from mere folly to blasphemy, Scott. Consider your next words carefully.
Okay. So I don't like that line, but ultimately we're not going to use
All right,
this line at all.
You're crossing a line from mere folly to blasphemy, Scott. Consider your. You're crossing a line from mere folly to blasphemy, Scott.
So this is the thing. When I'm reading this, it feels like Shrog is getting more heated up and more heated up. But when I feel the energy of the scene here, I don't feel that the same way. Especially with him coming in, I think there's something that is said in just the silence, and Shrog starting to start getting all loud and everything. Once we started hearing it, we're like, wait, that doesn't. He wouldn't actually get heated up. Like if a little kid were to come up to you and tell you that they saw ghosts or a monster, and then you saw that it was just something else, you're not gonna go, you little kids. Oh. You're not gonna. You're just gonna kind of dismiss it. You're gonna be like, stop being freaking annoying. Leave me the hell alone. So that's the energy that we're trying to find now. Not, you kids, leave me, because this sounds a little too Scooby Doo. So we're trying to find the.
You're crossing a line from. You're crossing a line. You're crossing a line from mere folly to blasphemy, Scott.
Some of these are
Consider
feeling
your next.
a little too red to me.
You're crossing a line from mere folly to blasphemy, Scott. Consider your next words carefully.
I think this line is overwritten. So this is our fault for sure. This is not Jerry's fault. This line is way too big.
You're crossing a line from mere folly to blasphemy, Scott. Oh, you're crossing a line from. You're crossing a line from mere.
It just drags.
You're crossing a line. You're crossing a line from mere folly to blasphemy, Scott.
So I'm going to go with this one because we're ultimately not going to use it anyway, but just to put it in there and move this forward.
Yeah, but when we were there, we felt like there's some problems here a little
We
bit, right?
we instantly saw that there was a problem with that line, and we said it just sounds so red, and I just think what it is it's just I don't know, it's just not a very natural sentence.
Yeah, I think one of the things, like, I don't know if you mentioned it last stream, but like, the next time we do something, if we're not working with kids, because kids change the nature of it, we would want absolutely to have a table read of all the actors together.
Yeah. All right, so let's listen to this.
You're crossing a line from mere folly to blasphemy, Scott. Consider.
So let's kill some of that air. We're going to need to have some of it, but not all of that, so we could speed this up.
Blasphemy, Scott. Consider your next words carefully.
Okay, so right now, the way I'm feeling is we have a cool energy in up front.
Master Shrag, it got him. The moth.
A moth. All right, slow down, boy. Slow down. Tell me.
It swooped down, grabbed Zort, and ejected him. He's... Mayo, gone.
Oh, Zort? That's impossible.
It's true. We tried to save him, but...
So I think we can probably speed this up here. So let's just grab this and make it. So these are the footsteps, and this is the volume mix here. And let's shift Shrag over here.
Impossible.
It's true. We tried to save him, but...
And let's shift Shrag over here so you can see it's going a little too long. It's not long, but in movie time, it's very long. So let's try to find some sort of reaction from Cod here. So I'm going to find this section.
What? Okay. What?
And let's zoom in on that.
What?
So you can see this is him not even performing. This is him talking to me.
What? Okay. What? What in the left?
You see it's a completely different line. But I'm like, oh, that actually could work there.
What?
Move that there.
What?
Let's move Shrug in.
You're crossing a line from mere folly to blasphemy, Cot. Consider your next words carefully.
I don't like that carefully at the end. It sounds a little too car salesman, car commercial. But again, we're not going to use this one. But just that's already something I noticed instantly there.
Consider your next words.
Okay, so I definitely cannot state this enough. Like none of the stuff I'm saying, like if I'm saying, oh, it sounds like this or like that in a negative way, this is for every actor. There's plenty of takes that are wrong. That doesn't mean that.
Well, that's why we take so many takes.
That's why we take so many takes for everybody. Yeah.
So that when we go back to edit, we just have some kind of different variety.
Yeah.
And I think as they know that too, right? When the actors are performing, they know to give something different in each take.
Yeah.
That they know that in the edit, we're going to be looking for it.
Yeah. And that's actually one of the things that you really look for in an actor is whether they could do different deliveries. Because there's a few that we've had where they get a line and they cannot break out of that delivery. It becomes like a nervous tick and it almost sounds robotic. Like, say it again. I don't know how. Say it again. I don't know. No, change it up. I don't know how. No, change it. So there's a few things that we've realized help us break this. We tell them to sigh before they say the sentence and then give it a beat. So then they go, and then the way they say it will naturally come out differently. Sometimes we'll have them run, but that, of course, will affect their breath. So it'll sound like, they're out of breath. So you have to be careful with that. But sometimes you absolutely have to do that. But the sighing is the stupidest one. And it seems to work the most.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to that. So now here's Caught defending his position.
Words carefully.
Okay, and I think I have one more line. Okay, actually, I remember what it is.
Mayo.
Okay, so let's come over here.
Tell him, Mayo.
Okay, so Ptolemaeo. So this is dragging on a little too much, and I love the stutter, right? That is the character. But The idea was that he's stuttering more here because he's more nervous, which would be accurate. That's what would happen. But we need to uh, not art direct it, but I guess that's the only word I could think of. Art direct his stutter a little bit more.
But I tell them, Mayo.
So that's good enough for me. We don't need him to just completely stretch this out.
But I tell them, Mayo.
Okay, so now Mayo's going to say something. So let's go find our Mayo stuff. And this is basically the line that got this kid the job here when he said this line here.
Mayo's gone.
So if you
Gone.
find it. I think it was this one over here.
Mayo gone. Mayo saw.
Okay, that was it. We love this line here because he sounds like
He's got the attitude.
he's got a little attitude there. He's like, he knows that Shrog doesn't believe him. And he's like, fuck you. I saw what I saw, right?
I tell them, Mayo. Mayo saw.
Okay, cool. So now let's go to the script. Mayo saw Shrog's patience worsened. He eyes him sternly. I see you're not done embarrassing me today. Okay, so at this point, I'm starting to get this feeling that the shit is dragging on too much. And we've already said what we have to say. It's, Professor, something bad happened. Really? Oh my God, what is it? Oh, you guys are bullshitting me. Stop bullshitting me. The end. Okay, and it just feels like he's now just monologuing. So I think we overwrote this. So this is totally on us. So I see you're not done embarrassing me today. Okay, so let's take a look at that. So let me look at my notes. Where is that? I see you're not done embarrassing me today. Take 11. So let's find take 11. And we'll find Shrog. Shrog, take 11. There it is.
I see you're not done embarrassing me today. Oh, I see you're not done embarrassing. I see you're not.
So you can see here he starts getting too big.
Oh, I see you're not done.
That totally doesn't work for this. So
I see you're not done embarrassing me.
let's go smaller. We're looking at the waveforms.
I see you're not done embarrassing me today.
I kind of like that one. He sounds like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, I see you're not done embarrassing me today.
So I'm gonna go for the Eeyore one, just for actually the one. Let's see this one.
Last thing I say before oh, I see you're not done embarrassing me today. Oh,
I like that. I like size and stuff like that before. So I'm gonna go with this one. And again, we're not gonna use this one ultimately, so it doesn't matter. So let's get rid of the safety tracks.
Tell them, Mayo. Mayo saw.
oh, I see you're not done embarrassing me today.
Okay, cool. So now we have that. So we can have him go back into his chambers and slam the door. And since we've already established what these doors sound like, we could just come over here, grab that door sound.
You're not done embarrassing me today.
Okay, now so the problem here is I don't feel like he's leaving. And I felt that instantly when we were recording this. I'm like, that doesn't sound. This is on us, not on Jerry. I see you're not done embarrassing me today. So he shakes his head and retreats into his office. But when I hear it, it doesn't sound like I'm ending this conversation, right? So we instantly saw that. We're like, we need to get something there that closes that.
With the bar.
Okay. So I mentioned that to Jerry.
Okay. Hey, bah.
And he did this ba at the end, which I would never have written ba. That's such a fucking great.
Yeah,
Bah.
he came up with it.
So grab that and let's put that in there. So we'll unlink these three because these are our safety channels.
I can't imagine saying ba, and then it sounds like in a
You're
conversation.
not done embarrassing me today.
So we gotta time it, of course.
Bah.
Give it a beat for him to walk into his office.
Bah.
Let's look at footsteps here. So we could suggest that he's walking away. So now we got to make him move faster. Usually it's better to find a clip where they're just moving faster. This could start sounding kind of robotic, but the important thing is just to cut it. You want to keep the little bit of sound fall off after each step and not get rid of that. So let's put this like that. Let's get this like this. Okay, let's put that. That sounds too fast. Let's put that down here.
Bah.
We could do that.
Bah.
Let's offset that.
Bah.
Okay, and then we'll grab the last line from Caught, which again, I'm cheating. Okay, so now Caught and Mayo are stuck looking at the end of the hallway. They know that what they saw.
What in the left was that?
Okay. And there we have it. So this is 100% to the script. And I don't like it.
Master Strike, it got him. The moth.
The moth. All right, slow down, boy. Slow down. Tell me.
It swooped down, grabbed Zort, and ejected him. He's Mayo, gone.
Oh, Zort? That's impossible.
It's true. We tried to save him, but... What?
You're crossing a line from mere folly to blasphemy, Cot. Consider your next words carefully.
I tell them, Mayo. Mayo saw.
Oh, I see you're not done embarrassing me today. Bah.
So, okay, so let's get rid of that. Let's go for the Eeyore one. I think the Eeyore one would actually work better.
Oh, I see.
So we'll pull this out.
I see.
And sometimes that first take is the best take, and this is the case of that.
I see you're not done embarrassing me today.
So let's just grab that.
I tell them, Mayo. Mayo saw.
I see you're not done embarrassing me today. Bah.
Not crazy about the footsteps, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
Left was that?
Okay, so that's what we have. So what doesn't work for me?
Master Strike.
I feel that there's a certain rhythm that's getting lost. I feel that if I was running to Tran to tell her that someone we know was killed, they're not going to wait for the rest of the sentence to finish before they inject themselves. So
Master Strike. It got him. The moth.
The moth. All right, slow down, boy. Slow down. Tell me.
So, okay, I get that he would listen to the whole part because that's important information. What was the tragedy that happened? Oh my God, the moths are here. Tell me all the information.
Down, grab Zort, and
But the minute he says grab Zort, which is like his son, he's not going to wait for the rest of that line, especially if he doesn't believe it.
Ejected him. Mayo, gone.
And he's especially not going to wait for Mayo to start to finish talking.
Oh, Zort? That's impossible.
It's
So that's the first thing that doesn't work for
true.
me.
We tried to save him, but... What?
So another thing is I feel like, again, this is not in the script, but I feel now that I hear it, that this is a missed opportunity here. Like Zort should see them and they should see Zort and they should be like, wait, what the hell? Right now, it just feels like they see Zort and Zort doesn't see them at all.
What?
So one thing I could do here is I could go into Shrog 7, or Shrog 7, and listen to some of these grunts.
Release the beat. Yeah. All right. Oh, no. Everything cut. Oh, cut. Oh.
The moth.
Moth. There to the...
Okay, so these sounds here.
Mhm.
So I could go in here and grab a sound like that. So let's hear it.
Mhm.
Okay, and let's give us a little bit more space there and bring that up. So
Grab Zort
so right there, we could put a reaction there.
Mhm.
and ejected Zort
And that would have to be an instant response to that.
Mhm.
and Zort
Mhm.
and ejected him. Mayo, gone.
Oh, Zort? That's impossible.
It's true. We tried to save him, but... What?
You're crossing a line from mere folly to blasphemy.
I don't like this delivery at all, but that was on me. I picked the wrong take.
Consider your next words carefully.
So this is, I think, why actors say like that they don't trust certain filmmakers. Is like if you put the wrong response to a certain other line, it almost feels like they're doing a bad job when it's really you're doing the bad job.
Carefully.
But I tell them Mayo. Mayo saw.
I see.
Okay, so right there, now that Shrog's energy level is different at the end here, we need to overlap this differently. So let's grab this section here and overlap that. You can see there's way too much space there.
Mayo saw. Mayo saw.
I see you're not done embarrassing me today. Bah.
Okay, another thing that could be interesting, let's go to this over here.
Oh, I see you're not.
Okay, so this is take 11. So let's go to take 12.
Oh, I can see. And should you
So that's our alternate line, which we're not even going to waste our time with. But we recorded these.
Oh, God. Oh.
So it's just him grumbling.
Hmm?
It has to be a little bit louder.
Little louder, okay. Oh, unbelievable.
So we could do that to this right here. Pull this down here. Let's unlink this.
Bah.
Okay, so now he's in his bedroom or his office complaining. So we'll do dialogue from outside. Let's make distance and let's do outside of the room. So this is changing the EQ.
Bah. Unbelievable.
What in the what?
So now that's him complaining in his bedroom. Let's mix that down so it fades out. We'll cut this part here because we only
What?
let's bring cut in a little bit.
What in the left was that?
Okay, and so there we go. So that's, let me save this. So that's this take. How did I even pick the names for these characters? My 6-year-old niece named them. She saw the concept art, and I asked her what the names were, and she said cotton mayo instantly, and that became the names right away. She named them, and then Shrog is named after
Shraga Weiss.
Shraga Weiss, who's a really good friend of mine.
And he's
Rigging the faces on the film.
yeah, he's an amazing artist.
Yeah. But I always call him Shrog. I've called him Shrog for 20 years. So he's named after him.
Bah.
What in the left was that?
Okay. So this is to the script 1-to-1, right? The only thing that we don't have in there is basically Shrog grumbling, but that's whatever. That's just like a sound effect, essentially. But you could see the type of things that we're thinking about when you're shooting. You're thinking about get out of jail cards. You're like, let's get a full gamut of versions. Do not think that you have it all figured out. You may think you have it all figured out, but once you put it in the edit, you're going to realize, holy crap, this doesn't work. And it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So we always do the full gamut, which some actors may probably hate. They might think like, why don't you have your shit figured out? And we just don't. So, okay. So now we have this. So let's play it one more time and then we'll play the final one.
Master Shrag, it got him. The moth.
The moth. All right, slow down, boy. Slow down. Tell me.
It swooped down, grabbed Zort,
Mhm.
and ejected him. He's gone.
Oh, Zort? That's impossible.
It's true. We tried to save him, but what?
You're crossing a line from mere folly to blasphemy, Cot. Consider your next words carefully.
Too wordy.
I tell him, Mayo. Mayo saw.
I see you're not done embarrassing me today.
Too wordy. Too wordy. It's too wordy. Shrog is too wordy. That is, we overrode him. Okay, so now let's go to the final one. So this is the one that we're actually going to keep.
Master Shrag, it got him. The moth.
A moth? All right, slow down, boy. Slow down. Now tell me.
It swooped down, grabbed Zort.
Zort?
Ejected him. He's Mayo gone.
Oh, that's impossible.
It's true. We tried to save him, but Mayo. Zort.
Blasphemy. Consider your next words carefully.
Mayo saw.
Bah!
What in the left was that?
So you can see, so that is 40 seconds. The other one is 50 seconds. So we cut 10 seconds worth of stuff that was completely not necessary. It has a much better rhythm, I feel. The main thing is you can see now when the minute he says Zort,
It swooped down, grabbed Zort.
Zort?
he's already like Zort. So now he's starting to not believe him. He's like, that's impossible. He's thinking. You don't have to have him say that's impossible. Just in his delivery, he's like,
Zort?
Ejected him.
And then he goes, like, yeah, right.
Mayo, gone.
Oh, that's impossible.
So we just have that, oh, that's impossible. But we've split this line up. So if you look at this,
It's not like the script at all.
it's not like the script at all. So if you look at this here, reveal in project, that is this right here.
Oh, Zort? That's impossible.
It's now broken up into 2 sections.
Slow down, boy. Slow down.
Sorry, here.
Zort?
Ejected him. He's Mayo, gone.
Oh, that's impossible.
It's true. We tried to.
And then this, he's now getting annoyed.
We tried to save him, but. Mayo. Zort.
Okay, so you can see Mayo's the first one to see him.
Mayo.
So he says Mayo, like look.
Zort.
And now Cot acknowledges Zort, and Zort stops.
Mayo. Zort.
So we leave this awkward silence because this is us, like, as the audience, like, wait, what the hell is going on here?
Blasphemy.
And then he starts walking away quickly. Okay, so instead of you're crossing a line from mere folly to blasphemy, Cot, consider your next words carefully. We don't need that.
Blasphemy.
He just says blasphemy.
Consider your next words carefully.
Mayo saw.
Bah.
You are embarrassing. I see you're not done embarrassing me today. You don't need that.
Saw.
Bah.
What in the left was that?
So there you go. So that's what we ended up doing. A few things that we added here are these things. So these are risers. Okay. So I have a huge library of these things. And just by grabbing that piece, and you could see I'm tweaking the volume here. You can see the individual Bezier points so that it peaks out as Zort walks in.
Mayo. Zort.
Blasphemy.
So what's funny is, since this was not in the script, there is no Zort. There is no Cot saying Zort ever, right? So we don't have him just saying Zort. So what I ended up having to do is go to a completely different scene and find one of the takes that was not good in that other take for that scene that was too small, and use it here. And that's the scene that happens before this, which is this one here. So let's find that. And I'm going to go to that area.
Zord. Besides, who needs magic? We have Zord.
Zort.
You hear that, Zort? There it is. So now we just go over to that thing. So he's hearing Zort screaming for help. Reveal in project. And there's all our Zorts.
Zort. Zort. Zort.
So that take from a completely different scene saved our ass. So now that we have that,
Zort.
We gotta do something. Here. Look tough.
We need to get to Master Shrag.
so then they're going to be running from that into the one that we just did, which is this one. So the music is not connected, but I could probably try to connect that.
Master Shrag. Got him. The moth.
A moth. All right, slow down, boy. Slow down. Tell me.
You have an interesting comment here. I don't know if you want to answer it. It's this one. Making the voice actors sound like they're talking to each other is something I never thought had to be worked on.
Oh yeah. Do you see the problem? They're recorded completely different weeks. So all of a sudden you have to get their energy to match, or else it's like, hey Netbug, hello Miguel Ortega, how are you? I'm quite fine, quite good. You know, you just start sounding like you're talking to crazy people if you get that energy level wrong. Like just think about that. You sound fine saying, hey Miguel, how are you doing? Right? But I'm like talking to you like this and you're responding like this. So all of a sudden you're like, okay, is that a character trait? Is this guy on meth? And if he's not on meth, something is wrong, right? But that's a big thing that we have to mess with here. So yeah, that's pretty much the job at this point.
Master Shark. I got him. The mall.
So let's put that there and just start lowering this.
Master Shark.
Oh, and this is not the right edit. So let's put it in this one here. Oh.
Master Shark. I got him. The moth.
A moth? All right, slow down, boy, slow down.
Okay, so we have this
Now,
now.
tell me.
It swooped down, grabbed Zort.
Zord?
Ejected him. He's Neo gone.
Oh, that's impossible.
It's true. We tried to save him, but Neo. Zort?
Blasphemy. Consider your next words carefully.
Mayo saw.
Bah!
What in the left was that?
Oh, this is another thing that I didn't touch, but the music. So the music at this point is completely temp. We've recorded, well, not we, Dan recorded this here, which is just a bunch of different types of sounds, or not sounds, because it's more than just a sound, like sections. So, it sounds great, but I can't use that part right there. This part right here, though, is a great floor.
It's great.
Now this starts having more of an ominous feel. So the problem that I have is that the length of this section here, which is our floor, is not long enough for this section here. And at this point, I don't want the composer to be custom making anything for this. Like he already did this, and I like to work like this, where I'm grabbing his stuff and just butchering it to make it work, right? So you can see here I have this part. Let's get rid of this here.
Master Shark, I got him.
And that's this right here. Okay, cool.
A moth? All right, slow down, boy, slow down. Now tell me.
It swooped down.
And now I'm having it transition into this. But you can see right here, I run out.
Grab Zort.
So I need to grab this piece again, copy it and paste it again, and try to get the timing of it to be correct. So as it's cut,
Grab Zort.
Zord.
Rejected him. He's Nail, gone.
It feels like it's one cohesive thing. It's not very in this case it's not very hard because it very much is just like an even wave. You could see the waveform, and then right here when Zort walks in, now we go into the ominous section, which is over here. This part here feels like it's coming from the music, but it's not at all, which is this part. That's our riser coming up to build up that tension, the strings.
You're just cutting up his music and blending it and layering it.
Yeah. What kind of voice do you imagine for Zord? We have Zord's voice here. So Zord is very pompous. So, but this is the scene right after that when they encounter Zord. So this is Cotton Mayo right after that, walking up to see what the hell
What's up with Zord?
what's up with Zord.
Yeah.
And when they do the turn, they see him like stumbling around, almost like a guy after a night of drinking tequila shots.
Too many drinks.
Way too many drinks.
Zord, are you all right? Zord?
Shrag was right about you. You are a failure. You let Zord die. The moths are no threat.
So clearly they're running away from Zord at that point. But Zord's voice is, I'll play a little section of him just talking, and I'll just play a little section here.
In the chilling darkness of the moth hive, fear of death gripped me. Yet, recalling the prophecy's promise of victory, my fear waned. Blessed by the heavens, I stood emboldened. Unleash the moth. And Argia expellum! Thou shalt not devour.
So some of these voices here are totally not ready to go.
Our mind threads, evil moth!
Well done, my boy.
Now, which of you is eager to step forward first and show me the magical skills delicately woven under Master Shrag's guidance?
Okay, so that's Zord. So he's a pompous ass for the most part, really. Now, the thing with Zord is we wanted to avoid the bully trope at all costs. We were just like, oh my god, I'm so sick of the bully that ends up picking on our hero. So we thought, let's go the total opposite and let's make him this, Harry Potter type character, and that he's actually kind of nice and kind of actually gives him a chance.
Forward first and show me the magical skills delicately woven under Master Shrag's guidance.
You're late, Cot.
Sorry.
No entry after the bell.
Or perhaps destiny has precisely timed his arrival to coincide with the moment he was most needed. Oh, no. Are you prepared to take the stage?
No, now?
Is there a better time?
No, sir. I'm ready.
Good. Dazzle me with your prowess, Cot.
So you can see he sounds like a total douche, and we wanted him to sound like this rich kid, entitled little.
Yeah, but I think
yeah.
he's a little bit more complex. Like he is douchey, but he doesn't really know it. It's just that he was kind of raised like extremely privileged.
Yeah.
And he believes in his own myth.
Yeah,
Right?
as he should, as everybody does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's Zort's voice, and now you guys saw putting together the hallway sequence and how we're thinking about stuff and cutting it up, and you can see ultimately at the end we end up cutting down Shrog's stuff big time. So all of this, you're crossing a line from mere folly to blasphemy. We literally ended up just using the word blasphemy, right? And then consider your next words carefully. We ended up using that. So we didn't have them do just blasphemy. So we're trying to cut it up, try to find the version that had the biggest gap between two blasphemy, cut the blasphemy, and then consider your next words carefully. That we actually did record because we started feeling as we were hearing him say it that it might not work. So we put that in there. I see you're not done embarrassing me today. Got rid of that entirely. And when he added the ba, we were like, that's such a great
Yeah.
ending. And it says so much with just one sound.
And it works. It's like there's something about the way he delivers it and his age.
It
Like-
sounds incredible.
But I can't imagine saying "bah"
Yeah.
in a conversation.
I'm going to start doing that when trying to get into arguments. I'm just going to storm out of the room and say,
Bah.
so. James says John Carpenter would be proud. Thank you, James. So that should answer that. Netbug, which recorders do you like more, Tascam or Zoom? So we're using this one. So the first one I bought was the Zoom, and it's the 32-bit recorder. It was just way too little. I'm gonna pull it in the other screen. I know. So it's a lot more money, like by a lot. It's the sound devices, the Mix Pre 6. So it has 6 channels of recording, the 4 knobs. It does 32-bit. So the reason why we ended up going with this one is I'm not a sound guy necessarily. I don't want to be there mixing it on the set. So this is the first one we got. It's 4 times more money. The problem is when it's a 32-bit recorder, what I really liked about this is that if someone goes over or like they yell, the audio never clips. You always have that information. The best way I could describe it to us VFX nerds, it's basically an EXR file, 32-bit. So it has HDR, but for sound, right? So it doesn't clip at 1, it keeps going, and it doesn't clip at black, it goes below. So this thing turned out great. The other thing with the Zoom recorder, this thing is a wonderful thing for $300 is kick ass, right? The problem with this is the screen was so freaking small on this thing that I just couldn't even see it. I was like, oh my God, I can't see this stuff. The screen on this thing is beautiful. It's color. So this is the one that we ended up getting. Really, really kick ass. And it just feels like it's pure metal, aluminum. It's a beautiful thing. The other thing about this is this comes more with it's made more for field recording. So we got this bag as well, the K-Tech. That way you could monitor everything. So you can see it's got a clear top here, which is what you want. That way you could be looking down, and if there's rain or drizzle or whatever, not that we're doing that, but you never know if we do a live action thing next. There's no drizzle in LA, but you know what I mean. That it protects the bag, and all of the sides here open up. So you could put all your inputs through here. There's inputs through there. The bottom opens up so you could pull out your SD card. And this company does little things which are actually amazing. So all of the zippers are using plastic pieces, not for the zipper component itself, but for all the little dangly stuff. That way the bag itself doesn't make noise, which is something you don't even think about. but you are the sound guy. You're hearing every single sound. Your bag cannot be the loudest thing,
Yeah.
right? Because you could mess up your take because you're hearing shuffling sounds. So this is the more silent of the bags. So this is something that we got that because it came with that. This is used, I think. This is a great deal, actually, because we definitely paid more for this. But anyway, that's that.
I think that was cool.
Yeah. So I hope you guys got something out of that. Not VFX related, but this stuff should help you even if you're doing VFX. So a lot of Gnomon students, I tell them to add sounds into their shots. It just adds so much realism and complexity, and it's something that everyone should know a little bit about. And Premiere, as you can see, it's as simple as can be. So yeah, I hope you guys dug it. I might need therapy to forget Mayo sucks. Shuck. Mayo Shaw.
Ew, shuck. I have no idea.
Mayo Saw. Let me see what other. While eating a sandwich. I think that's a response to the name Mayo. So no. She wasn't eating a sandwich. I think she just saw them and thought that he looked like Mayo. Let me pull him up. And I could kind of actually see it because we've been trying to figure out like why did she name him?
It was such a strange name, and we're like, I think that's perfect.
Yeah, we're like, damn, that's like kind of genius. So I think it's because he's so pale looking that he kind of looks like mayonnaise up here. That's what I think. And then when I think she named him Cot because of cotton. But I'll tell you what, that we tried to get her to name some of the other characters, and that was a one-time thing. Like once we put that kind of pressure on her, we're like, wow, you did a great job. Now come up with some more. She wasn't able to. But she's amazing and I love her. So we got Mayo, we got Shrug, we got everybody. So we're super happy. So next step is mocap. So what we'll do is on the day of the mocap shoot, we will be playing this
Master Strap.
on the speakers at the Gnomon stage, so the actors have their timing down.
Master Strap. It got him. The moth.
A moth? All right. Slow down, boy. Slow down. Now tell me.
It swooped down, grabbed Zort.
Zord?
Ejected him. He's Mayo gone.
Oh, that's impossible.
It's true. We tried to save him, but Mayo. Zort?
Blasphemy. Consider your next words carefully.
But Mayo saw.
Bah!
What in the left was that?
And my favorite part about it is 41 seconds. Boom, super tight. So I love it.
My favorite part is it really clearly defines the character, right? Like especially with Mayo, because he says so little. He's like, Mayo gone.
Yeah,
You can see he's really worried. And then when he's like, Mayo saw,
yeah.
the way he delivers it is like, I know what I saw.
I know what I saw. That's why Mayo's been the hardest one to cast, is because you have to get so much personality with just 2 words, or even sometimes 1 word.
Mayo.
Like he's freaking out
He
there.
sounds really worried.
So, I'll say this last thing. So the Mayo character, wonderful little kid who we actually haven't even met in person. He is the son of a really good, his name is Sagan. He's the son of a really good voiceover artist that was nominated or won, I'm not totally sure, a BAFTA for the Spider-Man game. He voiced a lot of the characters. His name is Yuri. He's a great guy, really talented guy. And Yuri was originally supposed to play Cot or Mayo, but we told him that we're like, look, we're probably not going to use you or cast you, not because you're not great, because his performance was the best performance for an adult, and that was the rub, is it sounded amazing, but it was a kid, it was an adult trying to sound like a kid, and he understood it fully, and he agreed. So he one day he's like, "Hey, I just for the hell of it, I just recorded my son," and he sent it to us, and we're like, "That's it. That kid is great." The problem is he's so young that we can't record him because he does not have the focus to do it. So Yuri has a recording studio, has the acting chops to direct him. He's basically getting all my notes, and he's the one that's recording him father to son so that the kid doesn't feel uncomfortable or whatever with some old guy talking to him that he doesn't even know. So he's just recording him 20 minutes a day across multiple days to get the performances we need. So that's why we don't have more than just what I showed you guys, because we're getting it in 20-minute chunks. And in those 20-minute chunks, maybe 10 things are usable or 5 things are usable. So
Yeah, it's interesting because he's so young. Like and then Cott's voice actor is 10, but between the ages 7 and 10, so much changes.
yeah,
Yeah, kids change so much.
yeah. So, you know, as you saw today, we play the same clip. We're gonna listen to it a million times, but it's boring. But that is the nature of this stuff. It's funny because I'm always telling Tran, like, "Hey, listen to this," and she'll be like, "Oh, I've already heard it enough," and or I don't want to hear it too much. Is really what she's saying, and I get it. She wants to keep her ears fresh on it. But I've heard this freaking thing. I mean, I'm not lying to you, 1,000 times at this point, 1,000 times easily, and it's only been
Well, you're doing it for like the whole entire day for days.
yeah. So I'm listening to this 30-second clip 100 times a day. So and then I'll do it with my eyes closed, which sounds stupid because there's no picture, but it's just to just try to get the timing. And then what I do often is I'll edit it with with my eyes closed to try to find the timing, and then I'll press the pause button on the space bar, and I'm like, that's where it's got to go, right? But I can't do that with my eyes open. It has to be with the eyes closed, so you're only focusing on like the emotional beat of it. So anyway, that's it. Thank you guys. That's all we have for this week. Next week we'll have more stuff, and we'll have Tran jump in and show some of the CG stuff as well, because we have some stuff to show on that side. But we're in the audio stage. This is the whole production. It's not just the visual effects. So it's the whole thing. So hope you guys dig it. I know it's not CG, but if you want to learn how to make a movie, this is where you do it. Okay? I never said a good movie, but a good movie. A movie. All right. So see you guys, and let me get this thing out of here. Is there any questions before, or are we good? I think we're good. Okay. All right, guys. So we'll see you. Thank you to Gnomon and Dell for sponsoring this. Dell has been incredible. Cindy over at Gnomon is the best, and NVIDIA. Thank you for making awesome motherboards, not motherboards, graphics cards, and for your stock blowing up. Thank you. And and thank you to, of course, to Gnomon and everybody else. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.